takeaway questions, the first thing you want to do is identify how many total units you have available. Before you even begin first in, first out, or last in, first out, add up the total number of units that were purchased. We've got 400 plus 200 plus 280 plus 90. That gives us 970 total units. It says that they sold 810. So they have available 970. They sold 810, which means their ending inventory will have 160 units. And knowing that your ending inventory is made up of 160 units will help you as you're working through your first in, first out, and your last in, first out. So let's start with first in, first out. And I'd like to make notes over here that this is my FIFO side, and this is my LIFO side. And I write directly on the paper, just like you will have an opportunity to do for a test. Or if you're online, I want you to rewrite this part of the problem so that you can mark on paper while you're working through this problem. So if we're doing first in, first out, we know that we need to account for 810 units, which means we will use the first 400 they had, and then the next 200, which takes us up to 600, and we need 210 more units. So this 280 will be split. 210 they use for cost of goods sold, and the remaining 70 will be in ending inventory. So now we have to figure out how much cost is associated with the first in, first out units that were sold. Well, they already did the math for us for the first round of purchases. The 400 units at $8 a piece is $3,200. The 200 units at $10 a piece is $2,000. And then we have to calculate, of the 210 units they are accounted for as sold, those are $13 a piece. So 210 times 13 is $2,730. Sorry for moving the camera. And we will add that all together to get the cost of goods sold for FIFO. $2,730 plus $2,000 plus $3,200 will give us a cost of goods sold of $79.30 for FIFO. What we're looking for, though, is gross margin. So sales minus cost of goods sold equals gross margin. Under FIFO, our cost of goods sold is $79.30. The sales will be the same for all methods because they said they sold 810 units at $20 a piece. So 810 times 20 is $16,200 worth of sales. It does not matter which cost flow assumption we used. Our customers paid $20 for every unit. Now we subtract out the $7,930 we got in gross margin under the FIFO cost flow assumption, and that leaves us, the $7,930 of cost of goods sold under the FIFO cost flow assumption, and that leaves us with $8,270 for gross margin. Now for LIFO, we'll take a similar approach as we did for FIFO, but we'll start at the bottom because the bottom represents the most recent purchases or the last ones in. We're still looking for our target of 810 units, and we know we're going to have 160 left over. So we're going to take the first 90 and then 280 and then 200 units, which will put us at 90 plus 280 plus 200. That puts us at 570 units. We're trying to get 810. So we need 240 more. So out of this set of units, we're going to split that into 240 that goes into cost of goods sold with 160 left in the ending inventory. So now we're going to find our cost of goods sold under LIFO. We have 90 units at $15 each, which is the $13.50 they've already calculated for us. We have 280 units at $13 each, so that's the $36.40 they've already calculated for us. We have 200 units at $10 each, that's $2,000 that they've already calculated for us. And we are going to figure out for this purchase from January 20th how much the 240 units is that goes into our LIFO calculation. So 240 units times $8 a unit, that's $19.20. And we will total those amounts. $19.20 plus $2,000 plus $36.40 plus $13.50 is $8,910. $8,910. It's getting messy because my paper is moving, which goes here. We subtract that from the $16,200 I had in sales, and that will leave us with a gross margin of $17,290.